Hey folks, happy Friday, last day of the class. So, well, I mean, if you take the final exam tomorrow, I guess that would be your last day of the class. But for all purposes, today is the last day of the class. So congratulations for making it this far. So as we find ourselves on this last day of the class, I want to kind of offer just a quick little synthesis of what I take to be, or what I hope to be a major takeaway from our 6 weeks together. And I said this in kind of the initial video from this week back on Monday, but in thinking about some of the substance and some of the material from this week, right, asking this question of like, how free are we really? And then tying that into the fact of what we discussed all the way back 6 weeks ago with Ishmael, right? And thinking about captivity and thinking about perhaps all of us to some extent have bought into the taker mentality of how things came to be this way. And how things came to be this way and kind of the epistemological setup that we all have in our minds, what we think we know on how to navigate through reality as it relates to who it is we think we are, right? All contributes to questions of asking, how free are we really, right? And so I hope that you can see and I hope you can appreciate, again, what I would like to believe is this arc of the class, right? Of thinking about these questions that we asked with regards to Ishmael, as it relates to thinking about captivity, as it relates to the taker story, the leaver story of how things came to be this way, and thinking about the fact that perhaps kind of what we believe or what we claim to know might actually lead to our own demise, right? And we go back to that kind of aeronaut example, right? And then thinking about what we got with Frankfurt, thinking about kind of what we got with regards to bullshit, and then what we got with on truth, and thinking about how that affects how we navigate through reality, right? And the dangers that Frankfurt claims, both as it relates to bullshit and as it relates to lying, okay? And then making that transition into metaphysics and kind of what Plato offered us as a way of finding the truth, finding and being enlightened, right? To leave the darkness, to find the light, right? To find the real truth out there, right? But ultimately that takes courage, that takes work, right? Up the rough and steep path. But ultimately kind of seeing that maybe reality isn't as set as it seems to be sometimes. Maybe reality, right, is a little bit more difficult to decipher. And perhaps, through Plato's theory of the forms, maybe our imperfect world is just a reflection of a more perfect, enduring realm somewhere out there. Okay? And in thinking about that, then we transition to identity and thinking about kind of what we saw with Three Identical Strangers, these questions that Olson offered us, these questions that Denon offered us earlier in the week, right? All as it relates to, again, the notion of identity, like who are we really? And then wrapping up the last 2 days thinking about how free are we really, okay? And so kind of putting all of these pieces together and putting all of the last 6 weeks together, I do hope that you find and you do see that there are these connective elements from all of these topics, right? And the fact that, yes, the class is belief in reality, so epistemology and metaphysics, but clearly epistemology and metaphysics are intertwined, right? Clearly, right, the way that we move through reality is dependent upon what we think we know. And what we think we know is dependent on kind of what we take in with regards to reality, right? So these are inextricably connected as it relates to kind of our experience as human beings, okay? And so as you move through and kind of finish out the class, I hope you can appreciate everything we've done, because we actually have done quite a bit in 6 short weeks. Good luck on your final exam, and I hope that goes well. I hope that your final reflection piece, if you haven't written it already, is a fruitful project. And I hope that you have a great rest of your summer. We've got, I think it's like literally a month to the day, because I want to verify this. Sorry, not sorry. 22nd is today. Exactly a month from today, fall semester begins. So I hope that you all have a wonderful month between now and then. Maybe a little bit of rest, maybe a little bit of travel, maybe a little bit of work. all of the above. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And also, and this is kind of a silly thing to say, but if you see me out and about, whether that be on campus or in the town of Moscow, please say hi. You all know what I look like, but I do not really know what you all look like. So it would be great and nice to see from you and hear from you if we do cross paths. So I hope you have a great rest of your summer. I hope that you've really enjoyed this class. Like I said in my intro video to this past week, I really enjoyed getting to read your submissions. I really enjoyed getting to read the work that you've done. And I hope you move forward feeling pleased about the work that you've done. So all the best. Cheers.